Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is June 9th, 11:25 a.m. here in the Arizona desert. It is Wednesday. So, BitcoinDailyView.com got more for you there. This is the big news right now of the day, I would say. Who cares about the manipulated price of Bitcoin when so many major nations are coming out in full support of BTC? Add Mexico to the list and think long term. So, Mexico, El Salvador, Paraguay, Panama, Brazil, Argentina, and this list will only grow quickly. There'll be many more on this list very quickly. So, they are moving towards sound money and away from a fiat dollar backed by violence. How is this going to go? Well, it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. So, with that said, you can sum it all up in this picture right here. Sorry, fiat girlfriend or wife, that sound money is looking really good. Relationships change. So, with that said, Vitalik Buterin was on Lex Fridman, one of the most boring interviewers on the planet. Right about 10 minutes. Start listening there. Listen for a minute or two. Vitalik, I think, had some. This came to me from private keys over in the Bitcoin Daily View chat, and I think that Vitalik, it kind of makes it sort of obvious. He had sort of an oops moment where I think if you watch him, he mentions that he had to sell his meme tokens before the crash, and how would he have necessarily known? So it's an interesting moment. Some people noticed it, private keys noticed it, and of course we do know that of course there are some players at a certain wealth level that they're on the conference call, they know what's going on. Now, with this news here, countries getting in, and then of course well, dollar's not quite as hot as she used to be. What's going to happen? Well, I think we could look at history and hope it's not the same that has happened before. Hopefully the peaceful revolution is truly a peaceful revolution of sound money, and it's more powerful than what has kept dollar supremacy until this moment. So things are going to change, I hope, and for the positive. But this article here on Zero Hedge is amazing. The Colonial Pipeline hack, the Russians and the FBI ransom grab, what really happened. Reality, the pipeline hackers didn't have the Bitcoin in the first place, but kept it in a remote server the FBI could access with a subpoena. And then also, they mentioned, so the hackers who brought down this big pipeline didn't have the sense to use a hardware wallet. Anyway, this whole story, look, the pipeline may or may not have been deliberately shut down, or maybe it really was hacked, but I'm telling you, in my opinion, allegedly, I think this whole story is 100% bullshit. I don't think it's as it is. It's just FUD, and another attempt for the SEC, the Fed, etc., the administration, to accuse, basically to call Bitcoin terrorism. That's what they want to do. And now when you see this happening, yeah, we all like to see this happening, but when we see this happening, well, you've got these countries that are going to go to sound money and get away from a violence-backed dollar. Well, that little fiat dollar is just, she ain't hot as she used to be. I mean, it's just the way it goes. Things change. So, things are changing. We'll see how vindictive the fiat girlfriend is. Will she just start bombing, these countries? Who knows? After all, they are using terrorist money, supposedly. If you look at the accusations and you look at the FUD, well, there you go. So we'll see how this plays out. I am hopeful. This truly will be a test. This is a test right now of the peaceful revolution. Is there so much power behind it that when the fiat dollar is slighted and everyone starts looking at the fine sound money, what's going to happen? Is it going to be a break from history? We'll see. Anyway, BTC in the green, ETH in the green. Most of the alt market is in the green. It's a beautiful day. Bitcoin got above the 2-minute moving average on a 45-minute chart. It's been there for a couple hours now, and it's looking good. If we can find support above there, this will continue to rally. It's a good day in the market. If we look at the crypto bubbles, all green and happy, except for Leo. Anyway, looking good. A happy green bunch of bubbles in the market today. Bitcoin trading volume last 24 hours. Let's refresh this. 8.5 billion last 24 hours, 4.7 of that on Binance, 1.2 billion of that on Coinbase, and Bitfinex finally showed up for 1 billion. So we got exchanges being over a billion that are other than Binance right now. So this is glorious. This is more the volume I'd expect to see when there's a price action change. Binance, longs versus short sentiment. Longs 46%, shorts 53%. So sentiment is short. We'll look at that closer. For Ethereum, long 61%, shorts 38%. So a sentiment for Ethereum is long. Now, where do I start and make this brief? Let's start here. Okay. So, a great webinar over at Blockchain Education. The latest webinar, Jonathan Regan does break down, and we get these amazing weekly webinars, and we have people who really are successful in the market, traditional market, and crypto market is what it's all focused on, who talk about what's going on in the world and what's going on in crypto, etc. And there's so many. One of the issues I think that crypto has right now in the community is there's so many, I call them O-faces, O-face, YouTubers who are just clickbaiting the crap out of things, and they create emotional reactions. And there are some that are better than others, I don't want to list individual ones, but it's just we have too much emotional nonsense, and also people who make accusations or say this is what I think is happening or this is what's happening. They just don't really have the knowledge. So there's just a lot of emotional reactions in the crypto YouTube verse, and it just leads people astray. So if you are a member of Blockchain Education, there's a link over at bitcoindailyview.com, and you watch these webinars that happen weekly, and they're interactive. You can ask questions. You'll get a much more level-headed view from pros who actually make a living, trading, and have been doing it for quite a long time, both traditional and in crypto markets. It will save you a lot of hassle. Honestly, I kind of ignored the O-faces and I just log into the weekly seminar to understand what things mean. So a little bit of insight. Now, Jonathan Regan broke this down in much greater detail, but here's the deal. So you have this sideways action going on. It's a 45-minute chart going back to 21st of May. And you could even fish a little further than that if you wanted. But so you have this sideways action, and what's the large institutional money doing? It's buying right down here in this box, or maybe it's just buying the whole thing. So they wanted to have basically a 50% retrace, boom, and they got it. And then what did they do? Well, they started running this thing sideways. Right around like between 32,000 and 39,000. Just ride it sideways. And what are they doing? Well, they're just hanging out, and they're just buying right here, buying right about. Let me see if I can move this thing. Buying right about there. That's what they're doing, in my opinion, allegedly. Okay, Jonathan Regan breaks it down much better than I can. But so, how are they manipulating this market? Well, we can get into that. That would just take too long. But basically, here's BTC longs, BTC shorts, and then BTC price action. So BTC price action is rocking today. Look at the shorts come screaming in on Binance. Actually, this is not Bitfinex, but look at the shorts come screaming in. A couple longs, but shorts off the dang chart. Okay, so a little bit of positive price action. Boom, shorts come rocketing in. And what will that do? Well, the truth is we'll see how long this lasts. Like, how long will we stay above the 200 moving average? Because now we're sort of out of that. I think it could maybe visit 39,000 again and bounce down. It seems that we do have this sideways action where the big institutions are buying up Bitcoin. You have new ETFs coming out, etc., and they need Bitcoin. You've got you can just look at MicroStrategy, endless. We could go into it. It would just take too long, but big money is buying Bitcoin every day, and now they're buying it at this ultimately suppressed price. And I think it's really easy just to look right here, and you can see, boom, price action looks good down here. Shorts come flying in, and really, this is a strong enough chart. I mean, that's manipulation. And if we were to look at who's doing those shorts and what size they are, and I'm going to start mentioning this here over at exocharts.com. This is something that M. Mouse mentioned over at Blockchain Education. He kind of enlightened me to this, and I'm just learning how it works. But this is a 4-hour chart, and it's showing your shorts being put in within this 4-hour candle, and the longs being put in, and where they're being put in at, and such like this. I need to spend more time. This thing's got so many features and does so much. But we'll start looking at this a little bit closer. I want to get deeper into the order books and look at basically what is the what money is flowing in and where is it flowing in from. There's other YouTubers who do it quite better, but if I could find some charts to keep up, I would, because really, it's us retail traders are going sideways and we're pissed, but the big money is just buying these lows, just sitting here. Maybe they're buying the whole thing. I mean, they sat around and they were like, well, what do we want to do? Let's start getting into Bitcoin. Okay, let's dump it 50%, run it sideways, buy the bottom of that sideways, and boom. But you know what? This is the big difference. Why is it not back at 3,000 like it was back, what was that, 2017, 2018? Why isn't it dumped? Because diamond hands. You've got a lot of Bitcoiners who just aren't selling. They're going, well, I don't really care. So you have and I've seen a recent lecture or webinar by Jonathan Regan. It's so great because he really broke down ways to see this, because a lot of people got caught off guard, and so it was just kind of speaking to people about it would just take too long to even begin to get into all he talked about. I mean, he talked for 2 hours, and it was all pure amazing data coming out. So if you look right here, we had a negative MACD cross. And then, of course, they had to go and cross positive here. So people may have gotten out here, and they got back in here. Then it dumps, very sharply. It crossed it. It was already dumped quite a way when it hit the 200 moving average. So maybe some people got lucky and they got out here. But in general, this kind of got a lot of people off guard. And so it's very important if you're an investor, you don't care, right? Because you're in for the long term. But if you're a trader, this sucks. And if you got caught in it, it kind of sucks. But as a trader, you didn't have to. If you're following some tight trading rules and you're getting into the trader mentality, see, there's this mess up where you have the trader mentality and the investor mentality. Investor mentality doesn't care if this happens. Trader mentality does. But too many traders have this kind of like investor trader like hybrid mindset where they always lose. So basically. So now all of us crypto traders, if you didn't hedge out, now you're a crypto investor, and that's not what you want. You want to be making gains. So you can still trade against Bitcoin. One thing I would want to mention to people is that when you get stuck in these situations, you can trade against Binance Coin. You can trade against USDT. It's much more stable. You can trade against Ethereum. A lot of things you can do. You don't have to only trade against Bitcoin. USDT is a lot more stable in situations like this, I find. Not financial advice, just entertainment purposes only, but I find that to be the case. So you can always get into futures and you can just start shorting. And something I want to mention here, which is kind of a neat thing, is they have this product called ALDA here. They have some hybrid automated trading, and ALDA is a very cool product where it's automated futures and it will short for you. And it's quite amazing. It will find the good shorts, or based on some certain rules, hop in, and you can have you can tune it to how you want to buy and sell, basically. If you want a trailing take profit, or you want a static one, and if you're using ALDA right now, and so let's say you didn't get out, or let's say you did get out, you're loving life because everything's been dumping and you're shorting futures, automated, just watching the profits cruise in. So, not that I want to oversell blockchain education, but I wish this webinar number 13 would become public, because I think this would actually be probably the most intelligent thing that's been put out about the market and what's going on right now. That would make sense. And whether you're happy because you hedged out, or whether you're sad because now you were a trader that now just became an investor, whatever, you're going to feel better and you're going to have a better idea of what's going on. And so we shall see. We've been ranging sideways for a while, and we have gotten out over the 200 moving average, well, a good number of times. We got above it here, we got above it here, but we are ranging sideways hardcore. And like I say, whenever we get some nice positive price action like we're doing right here, you can see it on the daily very clearly, this nice price action, what's going to happen? Boom! Those shorts are going to come rocking in, because the big institutional money is having their fun right now, buying Bitcoin at this sweet price and scaring out the retail traders. They need liquidity, but we're not at 3,000 again like we were in the past, because people aren't selling. When it dips, they buy, So this is literally like, the peaceful revolution, a beautiful, wonderful future for humanity based on sound money, with countries like these leading the way. And this list is going to be so much longer, so quickly. And this issue right here, this relationship problem, is going to get extreme really fast. It's going to be interesting to watch. And I'll be here as much as I can, kind of filling y'all in. I'll try to do better. I'll try to be faster. But there you go. That's what I see going on. Let's see if this lasts. We can already see here on the 45-minute chart, we're starting to see Bitcoin, trend down a little bit. Will it bounce off this 200 moving average or not? We'll see. It all depends on how many people are buying this dip and how many people are not selling. It's a battle right here on the 200 moving average of the 45-minute chart. The peaceful revolution against ancient evil. How are those shorts doing? Yep, they're rocking in. They don't like this. They want to keep that sweet range where they can buy the Bitcoin at the price that they want. How long will this last? It's a battle. We're going to keep fighting until they let it go. Or it's just not profitable enough for them to do anymore and they have to let the price get where it should be on a rocket ship to Pluto that looks like a Lambo. Anyway, with that said, remember, you're part of the peaceful revolution. It matters, and every Bitcoin Satoshi you own makes a piece of shit, ancient, evil banker cry. Take care.